is Colin Quina. I work with 3T Futures, which is uh, we work very closely with DTI. We actually are located in the DTI building. Have a great referral type relationship with DTI. So many of our clients are also DTI clients, and we work well together and know and really know what DTI students are expected to know and what DTI students are expected to kind of have in their repertoire. And you guys know about the value that you've already seen here with DTI and with their trade room. The first part of the main open house type deal was dealing most with that trade room. You know how valuable that is and what a good tool that is, and that's really important when you're looking at trading, trading futures, trading stocks, trading anything. You know, you're you're really only as good as the tools that you have. One of the tools being your education, one of the tools being having a good community to communicate and talk about trades, and also having a good platform to execute trades efficiently and easily with with no added baggage coming. No baggage. Okay, sorry. Yeah, no slides. We've got I've got I'm desktop sharing right now, guys. Oh, sorry. Let me put you over here. Desktop sharing right now. This is actually the 3T Futures platform, 3T Trader platform that we use and like. Mark, there's not particularly. No, no. It's we like I said, we're located in the same building. We are separate companies. We have a referral relationship with each other, and we use like I said, we have a lot of clients. I guess you can kind of think of it that way. I'd say just because we are closely affiliated and like I said, have good relationships with DTI, and we are in the same house, if you will. So, but anyhow, Mark, I know you just got a demo going this morning, and hopefully you got that downloaded and worked out. And this is actually what you're looking at right now. This is the platform that we're looking at, and so I want to go through that real quick. I want to go through that real quick. No demo for me. Use Mac. With a Mac is usable. You can use the Mac with your platform. You just have to have one of those programs. I believe it's called like Boot Camp or something like that. Those of you who use Mac will know what that means. But basically, it's a program. It's a program that basically allows you to be able to put Windows programs on your Mac. So it is doable. I know several people. Yes, there you go, Sam A. Thank you. Fusion Parallels. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, well, Mark, there is still there's also a smartphone app, a smart device app that you could also use for your platform. It's not limited to just a desktop version. So, but anyways, let me get back to this presentation, guys. We'll try to answer some questions. I'll try to answer some questions at the end here, but I do want to get through and kind of show you guys some. Want to show you guys some highlights of the platform, some things about the platform that I find really neat, really interesting, and very helpful as well. So, anyways, back to here, the platform here, guys. What you were looking at is basically this is just the simple control center platform workspace that I've created. It's actually called the Scalper workspace. There's a couple of different workspaces you can choose from by going up here to File, going to Workspace, and going to Open. Will give you a couple different options. I found that the best option with everything you need and nothing you don't is this Scalper workspace. It's got the account summary. It's got shows you how much your what your net liquidity is. gives you your open position P&L, your realized P&L, total P&L for the day. It actually has a positions window to highlight your current positions. We'll get into a couple positions here in a little bit. This is just trading on a demo. I am trading on a demo here, guys. So I'm not here to I'm not here to call any trades. I'm not here to endorse any kind of trades or anything like that. I'm just here to kind of show you guys how you can interact with this platform and why we all think that it's a very valuable tool to have in trading. So first things first, let's take a look at just a couple of these windows. Like I said, let's keep on going through these windows. You got the positions window. We've got a depth of market here, or dome. We've got a trading dome here. You can see with prices and contracts. It's got the depth, how many different contracts are waiting to be filled at each price. We've got a nice little volume profile over there on the side, show you how many different contracts have been traded at each price. It gives you a nice little volume profile there to show you where the big volume is coming in. We can see right there it's coming in here at this 74 quarter level, 55,000 contracts. Anyways, just a good nice little visual to have on your actual dome and whatnot. On here we've got here's your chart. Here's a basic chart, candlestick pattern, 30 minutes. You can always change. Obviously you're always going to be able to change your increment, your time increment here. You got several different options there. Style, you can change your style as well. Candlesticks are usually the preferred method that I like as well. Anyways, a couple different things here. Got a nice little indicator, little booklet here. A lot of different indicators that you can use. A lot of different moving averages. All these kind of things. So if you guys really like to look at charts and really make sure you've got like a bunch of different indicators there on your charts for analysis purposes. You've got all those different ones. You can actually create your own and make your own indicator if you have done that in the past. There's a way to do that through Excel to actually add your own indicators and implement your own indicators into the platform. So really neat, really neat. Also, those of you who do like trading from the dome, or excuse me, trading from the chart as well, you see here we've got a nice little trade mode. Change your quantity, get your total P&L listed, buy market, sell market. So you can actually trade here, and just a left click is always going to be a buy on the trade mode, and a right click is always going to be a sell. Depending where you are in the market, it will change to reflect a limit order or a stop order if you're above the market on the buy side, and then below the market you can see you've got a sell stop and a buy limit. So pretty neat, pretty neat. Like I said, those of you who like to trade on the trade mode. And of course we have our dome again. Like I said, a lot of things you can do with this dome, a lot of ways to interact with this dome. One way to interact with the dome and the charts through this quotes page here. It's got a lot of different quotes here added. We can you can add different quotes here. Take ones off that you don't. Always gives you a couple of defaults. Nice little roll forward and roll backwards buttons to find the correct contract. If you want to go forward, go out a few months, you can always have that option. It won't let you go back, obviously, because those contracts are expired, but that's the way you would want to do it to find the current contract month. You can adjust. You can make the different. You can line it up how you like. Line up the different quotes how you like. But something that's really neat about being able to interact with your quotes and also this dome and the chart here is this little function right here, this link to quotes function. Very important. Very nice little function to have right there. When you have it active, everything that you see with the blue box around it is going to be active. When you have this link to quotes function active, it lets you interact with the dome and the chart with just one click. So each time I go to click on a different quote here from my quotes page, it'll change both of my dome and my chart for quick analysis, for being very efficient. That's one of the good things about this platform. It is very efficient, very simple to filter through, scan through a bunch of different quotes to see, to get to the quote that you need. If you have a bunch of different buy signals hit at once, it's very simple to go through and see these different see these different markets, analyze, look at these different markets, and make trades as well. So very, very nice little function here, this link to quotes function, especially if you're like me and have to, uh, uh, you know, 3 of my screens are dedicated to, you know, to work and to working and to, doing my duties as a broker for 3T here. So 3 of my screens are devoted to that. My 4th screen is just this. This is what I have up on my 4th screen, um, and it really makes it a lot. It's a very efficient platform to use only one screen on. With that link to quotes function, with the ability to play strategies, which we'll get into that here in just a minute. The ability to play strategies and be able to filter through the different products, different symbols. You can realistically be able to play several different trades in several different markets within a very short amount of time. And those of you know, you guys already know that time is always going to be of the essence when trading. So if you can, realistically, be able to filter through several different products, have strategies saved and ready to go and up and ready to go, you can realistically be able to trade several different markets at once and not have to be stressed out about it. Several different markets at once. You can do it quickly. You can do it efficiently, and you're not stressing out. You're not pulling your hair out. You're making calm, calculated decisions, and that's what it's all about. You never want to trade when you're stressed out, when you're hair's on fire, if you will. You always want to be able to make calm, calculated, cool-headed decisions, and having the tools, having the ability to be efficient, not have to rush, not have to make mistakes, not fat finger. We've all done that. I still do it today. Everybody still does it. We have that's just a part of it. But being able to eliminate those mistakes, being able to have the tools available to you to eliminate those mistakes is very helpful. Is definitely an advantage when you are trading, especially if you're trading with a lot of volume. So, anyways, so that's that link to quotes. We went over the chart. Let's go over a couple different things. Anybody have any questions? First of all, um, yes, we do. We do have. We this is yeah. By the way, this is a futures and futures only platform. Futures and futures options only platform. We do have the ability to trade commodities options, futures options, on both weekly levels, and also the regular monthly expirations. But anyways, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the option chain. Let me bring up my option chain here. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm just clicking on. Let's just stay with the S&P. And I've got some quick buttons up here. I've got a dome. I can actually bring up another dome, a separate dome um, that is separated from this control center here, from this platform. Also can bring up a separate chart that would also be separate from the chart you see here. So you have the ability to bring up, I believe, 5 total domes and 5 total charts as well. So got a lot of different, you can definitely, if you have the space, if you have the screen space, you definitely can get creative with the different domes and charts that you can bring up and analyze and look at. So let's just take a look. I'm going to click on my option chain here, find option chain. Nice little icon, quick button. It actually went to another screen, but let's bring this over here. And there's your option chain. It starts off, it starts the range off as the near. You can see it gives you, total of 3 different strikes, both in the money and out of the money. We can actually increase those. to make to get a little bit more if we're going to go out further. You you have that ability. You can see here everything highlighted is going to be your what's in the money. Here's my in the money calls here. Then on the other side I've got the in the money puts. But if you're just looking for calls, you have that option to just put them in the calls. Again, same thing. You just put in the puts. But I always like looking at calls and puts. Just makes it look a little bit better, a little bit neater. But of course, here's your underlying, here's your quantity. You got the near range, but you can actually go out of the money, near, all, in the money. You've got that option. Expirations. Let's take a look at the expirations here. Like you said, here's just the regular July expiration. We've got the regular Aug expiration, regular SEP expiration. But we also have a weekly expiration into July, weekly expiration into August, and then we also have week 1 July, August week 1, and then and then so on and so forth. So you can see there you've got all the different monthly expirations as well as weekly options as well. Tom does a lot of has done a lot of weekly options in the past. It's something that he really likes to do, that he really thrives on and trades well. So it's really neat having that ability to trade futures and futures options all in the same platform. So right there for you. To be able to trade, what you want to do, let's just take a look at these 1990s right here. I'm just going to click on here, and you can see, since I have my link to quotes function active, it actually went over here. Bids and offers actually went over here to my dome. So I can actually here trade from my dome. I can place a trade from the dome here, or what I can do is I can just add this to my quotes page. So I can add that to my quotes page, or bring up, if you notice, I can actually bring up a separate dome. So if I wanted to, if I could bring up a separate dome as well, if I didn't have this link to quotes, it would stay on the S&P underlying, so I could be analyzing that as I make my decision on what option I'm trying to, I want to purchase or sell. So very neat. So like I said, it's a very neat platform. If you don't have the space, if you do have the space, it still opens up a lot of opportunities. But if you don't have the space, you certainly can be able to trade just using the one simple screen. So anyways, so like I said, let's go over and see what we can do with this dome here. Yeah, so look, I can be analyzing the underlying market and come up and see my 1990s that I have here, part of my quotes. You can get really creative with the different adding the different options, adding the different markets to your quotes page. So I can easily go back to it and place a trade in the options if need be. Anyways, back to let's take a look how we interact with this dome here, guys. All right, several different options, and basically when I'm talking about interacting with the dome, I'm talking about how can we, what kind of how do we place trades with the different types of orders that we have available. Well, of course, you always have the market orders. You can see here you got quick buy market, sell market buttons right here as well. So if you wanted to get into the market really fast, you've got that option right there. You got that option to get in quick, and and be able to take the price that you need. So yeah, so let's take an example. I'm gonna go through real quick, guys. I'm gonna go through an example of setting a simple strategy, a simple manual strategy. Okay, here's let me start over. We're gonna go through 3 different types of strategy orders. Okay, I'm gonna do a manual simple strategy. I'm gonna do a simple bracket order strategy. Then I'm gonna do a complex multi-bracket strategy. Okay, so we got 3 different types at your disposal. Back to the example of wanting to get into the market really fast. Well, I would just want to come up here and sell my market. Just go ahead and sell it. There you go. We got in. I got in. Well, now I need to make my protection. I need to have my profit target, and I need to have some protection. So what I want to do that with is I want to also connect it with an OCO order. Order cancels order. That way, if the market makes a run and I'm correct, Market will go down. I'll have a profit target waiting there for me to buy at a certain price, and I'll also have a stop waiting at a certain price. And if either one gets hit, it will cancel the other order, so you don't take a chance of being double filled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and I'm going to hit this little 1 and 2 little cards right here, which represents an OCO order cancels order. I'm going to hit that and make it active. I'm going to come up and decide, what do I want my stop to be? I'm going to do a right click. You see right there hovering over the green area right there, the bid side. You can see I can do an OCO stop right there. Of course, I'm above the market, so I'd want to do a stop. Would not want to do a limit order because that would just fill me at the market, and I don't want that. So I'm going to do a right click here above the market, just 2 points. Just do a 2 point, you know, 2 point profit or 2 point stop limit there, risking $100 on this trade, and I'm also going to try to make $100 on this trade. So I'm going to put my my profit target down here at 75 quarter, which is 2 points, but it also gives you guys what's really neat. Hovering over there, it tells you what your exit P&L is going to be. So it'll let you know how much you're risking right there just by placing the trade. So you notice I came up and I did my stop first, get some additional information I explained. But okay, well now I want to look at all the different ways you can set up a strategy with the use of the dome in placing orders. There's really, I consider there to be really 3 different types of strategies available. A manual strategy, a simple manual placement strategy, also a simple single bracket strategy, and then a complex multi-bracket strategy. So very simply, the first type of strategy is going to involve the use of manually placing your limit order and stop order, your profit target and your stop, with the use of an OCO, or order cancels order. So what we want to do is first, let's just go ahead and just get in the market. I'm just going to go ahead and buy this market real quick with the buy market button. I'm in at 1958.50, you see here. So what I want to do is I'm going to protect myself. I want to protect myself with a stop order, and I also want to have a profit target to collect profits, hopefully. And I want those orders to be connected by an OCO, which when one of these orders gets hit, the other order will immediately be canceled. So you don't take a chance in getting double filled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up and select the OCO. I'm going to make that active. I'm going to place my limit order. And what's neat is you can see where it'll tell me my exit P&L, $112.50 if it reaches that level. We want to do a little bit less. We'll just go ahead and risk 2 points on this, or $100. And I'm just going to do a left click here for my limit order. It's going to highlight that that area right there on the ask column, because it's waiting for another area. It's waiting for another side of the order to complete an OCO. So you can see here we're already up on the trade, so I kind of want to protect those profits real quick. So I'm going to place my limit order, or excuse me, I'm going to place my stop just below the market, just above my entry, and hopefully collect a little profits on this, regardless of whether it hits my profit target or my stop. I will be profitable. It's a good trade, decent trade already. But anyways, if this was a real trade, of course, I'd probably risk a little bit more in the hopes that it would hit my profit target instead of coming down and hitting my stop. So, but just for the interest of example, I'm going to go ahead and place this right click here, and now I've got an OCO working. Okay, so this is what I consider kind of a manual strategy. I got in the market to myself. I placed my stop. And I also placed my profit target in relatively a short amount of time. Now this market really wasn't very fast moving. It really kind of hovered in the same area throughout. It went up a point, here and there, point and a quarter here, but it really didn't move too fast. So the essence of time wasn't really a factor. When trying to place my profit target and my stop, I was able to do it pretty quickly and not be rushed with a fast-moving market. Now, if you do get a fast-moving market, and I'm going to go ahead and just get us out of this trade right here, so it can move on. But if it was a faster-moving market, I would want to only limit the amount of clicks. I would want to limit the amount of clicks I made for the interest of time, and so then I would want to do a bracket strategy, just a simple bracket strategy. I'm going to take off the OCO, and I'm going to open up a little section down at the bottom here, and we'll just do the same thing. We'll just do, I'm going to click on the buy bracket here. We'll just do the same thing, a 2-point by 2-point. Now, when I come through and place a limit order, you can see where I'm going to be filled, where my profit target and my stop is automatically going to shoot out. So let's see if we can get a fill here real quick. Yeah, got a fill there real quick. Shot up my profit target, 1-click entry. You know, this again, I could, by all intents and purposes, could have set up another manual strategy by getting in right there. But like I said, I just wanted to show you, in the interest of time, if it's a volatile market, if it's moving quickly, you're going to be better off using the buy bracket. And you know, same thing, sell bracket. You know, same way. You can select either buy or a sell bracket. Change your factors here. You get your sell limit, which would be your profit target, and then your sell stop, which would be your stop loss factor there. You got those two things working for you. You can adjust your price. You can adjust your intervals here, and you know, really, you know, tailor that to the strategy, the kind of, you know, your thoughts on that particular trade. So again, that's just a, you know, single bracket strategy, real simple. It looks like this little triangle here to open up, and all you do is place your limit order, and it sends out multiple brackets. It sends out multiple trades, a profit target, and a stop automatically with just one click. Again, let's go ahead and move on. Just move this up here and try to get a fill. There we go, got filled. Um, you can increase your quantity. So if you want to do a 3-lot and have all three at the same, have all three profit targets and stops at the same price, that is certainly a possibility as well. See here, I've got a 3-lot working. You got a 3-lot waiting to be working. That's actually held right now until I get filled. So those are not active, but as soon as I do get a fill, those do become active and become OCO orders. So it's really like I've done a manual strategy, you know, with the use of the OCO, but in this case, it's only taken me 1 click to get in, and that 1 click will actually allow me to hit my to also send out a profit target and a stop loss just with that 1 click. So a little bit quicker, a little bit faster than just doing a manual strategy. Um, and still, you know, we're still limited because it's a single bracket. So if you want to get really creative and do some and get really creative with your trading and you know, do several different brackets, have a very complex strategy with the use of bracket orders and OCO orders, well then we can do what is referred to as a complex multi-bracket strategy, and that's represented here by this thumbs up here. You can see there's a little drop-down box right there next to it, next to the thumb, and that is a bunch of different strategies that I've actually saved. So you can actually save a bunch of different strategies. You can even, you know, there's no limit to the amount of strategies you have. There's, you know, you can have several different ones. You can have one for the Dow. You can have one for the S&P. You can have one for gold. You can have one for crude oil. I mean, you can have different strategies saved um, for different products. So when you are filtering, you know, so say for instance you are, you know, analyzing the markets, and you see a buy or sell signal, you see just a signal for several different products at once. You see several different markets hit a buy or sell signal, and so you want to be able to make trades, to be able to trade these several different signals, but you know, and be able to do it efficiently to where you're not missing you know, too much one way or the other. Well, in this instance, you can have several multi-bracket strategies saved up in your little arsenal here. You can filter through real fast. You know, you get an S&P. Here's my S&P signal. Well, let me go over here. Let me find my S&P strategy. I'm going to select that S&P strategy. I'm going to make sure it's active. I've got my S&P strategy, ready to go. I'm placing an order. I can place my order here, and I know it's going to interact. I know it's going to act out. So now let's go. Oh, well, there's a Nasdaq signal. So let me go through here. Let me drop down. Let me find my Nasdaq. Here's my Nasdaq saved strategy. I'm going to get that going. I'm going to place that order. I'm going to place that order, and so on and so forth. So basically, what I'm getting at is you can be very highly efficient with this platform with the use of your strategies and the use of the link to quotes function, and realistically be able to place several different trades, all within a very short period of time. Um, Efficiently, and you know exactly how it's going to work. You've already configured these strategies up before you've implemented them, so you know exactly how they're going to work. You know in your mind that if you see a signal, if you see a market hit a certain number, a certain signal, a certain level, you know that you're going to go through, place an order using that strategy, and you can move away from that product, move away from that market, go find another market, and be able to have a different strategy to use with that market. So again, the point is being efficient, being able to filter through very quickly and place trades in a timely manner to where you're not missing too many ticks. You're not missing too much as far as time being of the essence. And really the configuration of these complex strategies is pretty easy. We'll just go through and configure one real quick. Bring it up. It's a multi-bracket. It's actually going to the ES because that's actually what I had. That's actually what I had saved. So what we want to do is um, we want to do a new one. So let's just go and do new. Enter a name. We'll just do ES7. Hit OK. And you can see here, here's my little configuration page. I'm going to make it up a little bit bigger. But it consists of it consists of three brackets. Okay, it's just think of it as your simple bracket, your single bracket, but just tripled, basically. So you got three different brackets that you can interact with. You can all do different things, and that's what we're going to do. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep this as a 3-lot total, so that's going to be 1 lot per bracket. So the first thing I want to do is come through and go to my first bracket here. I'm going to go to my quantity. I'm going to change this to a 1. I'm going to go to my second bracket, my quantity, changing this to a 1 as well. And the same thing down here, bracket 3, quantity is going to be a 1. So again, it's a 3-lot total with 1 lots in each bracket. Going back to bracket 1, you can see it automatically fills me in as my factor as 4 and my stop factor as 4. 4 being ticks, being measured in ticks, so that would be 1 point. So my first bracket here is already filled out with a 1 point by 1 point. And that's actually what I wanted to have here. It's actually what I wanted to have. So that first bracket is going to be 1 point by 1 point, and it's always safe. It's always wise to go back and look at the bracket because it's going to give you a description of what it's going to do. This bracket right here, ESU4, that's September 14 contract there. You're going to have a limit order of 4 or 1 point connected to an OCO of a stop order at 4 ticks as well. So we see there we've got our limit order at 4 ticks or 1 point. We got a stop order at 4 ticks or 1 point. And this OCO right here lets me know that it's going to be connected to each other. So again, when one gets hit, when one side of the bracket gets hit, the other side of the bracket gets canceled. So moving on down here to bracket 2, again, it always defaults to 4 ticks by 4 ticks or 1 point by 1 point. So I'm going to come through and change this to 8 ticks or 2 points. And going back here to the bracket, you can see it changes my ticks from 4 to 8 here. So that lets us know that that is what we want. And down here, third bracket here, we're going to come down to and change this to, we really want to make this a big hitter. So we're going to do 16 ticks or 4 points total for this last bracket. And that's it. Again, you just come up and see, look at your brackets, look at your description of the brackets, make sure that is exactly what you want as far as how many ticks that you want the brackets to use or to be sent out. And once we have that together, once we have that good, how we like it, we're just going to go through, hit OK. I'm going to say the changes, yes. And now I'm going to come over here and make sure I've got ES7 checked. I know that that's good to go. I know that my strategy is active. So I'm going to come through here and you can see all my different profit targets and stops are all waiting to fill right here. As soon as I can get a fill down here, that's 57.75, which it looks like hopefully we will in a minute. All my profit targets and stops will be sent out here just with this one click. Just with this one click here. So let's see if we can get a fill real quick, and we'll see it all. We'll see it all come out to fruition here. Let's see. I'm chasing this market a little bit. Let's see if we can get a quick little fill. So behind a lot of contracts there. So it's going to take a little while, but let's see if we can't get something. We'll give it a second. But hey, yeah, the point is, guys, you've got these tools, you've got these excellent tools with this platform to really, help you use the platform to the best of its ability, be able to trade and make good trades and have good trades at all times. Went ahead and just got it filled there, just so you can see. I just went ahead and get to the market, but just so you can see, where our limits are going, where our profit targets are going to go, and how many, all the different, profit targets, stops, just seeing where it is, just being able to visually see that on the dome. I know that makes it makes me a lot more comfortable being able to see that and seeing how it's going to come to play. And you're not limited to keeping it this way. You can actually still drag and drop, as you can see here. You can drag and drop. It does not change. It does not change the status of the order being an OCO. So you still will have the other one cancel. You notice that first bracket canceled. My first bracket is done. I'm finished my first bracket, so I can, always move my second bracket stop up to protect my profits. Um, I can always move the third bracket up as well, leaving those profit targets where they are. But you can always make adjustments on the fly. You are not, beholden to the strategy that you implement. You can always make changes. You can always do adjustments on the fly, and and of course you always have quick buttons to cancel all, to exit market and cancel. You can cancel your offers. If we had any bids in there, I could cancel my bids. But if you find yourself in a bad trade, if you find yourself, the market going against you, and you just want to go ahead and just give up, not give up. Obviously, you just want to give up on that trade. You want to move on and find other opportunities. You got this quick, nice little exit market and cancel button that can get you out of a lot of trouble in that case. So anyways, well, that kind of wraps up what I wanted to highlight here about the platform. I hope everybody found that informative. And now I kind of want to switch gears and I want to go through the smartphone app. We've got a really nice smartphone app that they've come out with that a lot of people have been using. It's been a great addition to go along with this platform. It's not quite a standalone platform in and of itself right now at the moment, but it certainly is a great little tool, a great device to use in conjunction with your desktop platform. So let's come on over here to my go ahead. Got a little slideshow. Just want to run through real quick. And this is the platform. This is it. This is your smartphone. You're looking at my iPhone right now. All these pictures were taken from my personal iPhone. So you can see there, first thing that you get when you open it up is your quotes page. Really easy to add different quotes. You've got a watch list there. You've got last viewed that'll show you the last markets that you were looking at. But real easy to add quotes, to view the quotes, all that kind of stuff. That's your first little page right there. Second little tab, you notice these little tabs are appearing down here at the bottom of the screen. The next little tab here is going to be, let's see, yeah, here's your little orders. This is your this is your account page. This will tell you you know your liquidation value, your buying power, you know all that kind of stuff. If we had open positions, it would tell you your P&L. It would tell you what kind of margin was required for all your positions, and that is going to be a that the margin required right there would be the initial. So I know we're all used to day trading, and we're used to the $500 margins and whatnot for day trading, but the margin required tab here on your little account page will actually reflect the initial or full overnight margin. So just keep that in mind. Next screen you get is just your orders little tab. This will give you a little snapshot of any open positions that you have, any active orders, the day's fills. Show you a snapshot of the activity done that day. Any orders that might have been rejected or canceled are also captured here in this page. This is, so I'm going here, I'm going to my open positions. So I'm going from here, clicking on my open positions, and this is what you see. This will come up, you get a little snapshot showing your P&L, showing your actual position, what it is. And then of course you've got a quick, nice close all positions tab. It closes all positions. It does not close working orders. So you want to make sure that if you do hit your close all positions, if you have working orders, if you've got profits and if you've got profit targets and stops set up, you want to make sure you go back to your orders page and close all those orders as well. But again, there's your quick close all positions window right there to get you out of the market. Next thing, you got alerts. You got nice little alerts. You can set up an alert. It'll ring to your phone. It'll set it up. Put your phone down. Put your phone in your back in your pocket, and as soon as your little alert hits, you can see there it's a greater than or equal to symbol, or greater than or equal to what's the word I'm looking for? Function. Um, but yeah, you can see there it'll ring to your phone. It'll alert you right there when your alert has been triggered, and you can make moves right there from your phone. Okay, this is going back to our quotes page. When you go back to your quotes page, when you actually tap on an individual quote, in this case we tapped on the S&P. When you actually tap on the individual quote, this is the first screen that pops up. You can see, those of you who use the iPhone, you've got these 4 dots up top there letting us know that you can actually scroll. You have other screens at your disposal there by scrolling through. This is the first one. It gives you a snapshot, last traded price, high low, the volume trading, which is pretty important. Status, of course, what time it is and if it is trading. It'll give you your active orders if there is an order active right here. Currently, I didn't have one active there, obviously, but if you did have anything, it would show you, give you a nice little snapshot. If you hit this little plus sign, notice up here you've got a little plus sign at the top right-hand corner. When you hit that order, you've got this right here. Some options here come up for you. You can close your position. If you have a position open, you can close your position at the market, reverse position at market. You can add it to your watch list, bring up an advanced chart, and other things like there. This is the second screen of your quotes available to you on your quotes. This is more of like a dome view. I consider this to be more of a dome view. As you can see, you got multiple prices there. You got your bid and your ask, and you've got your multiple prices there in your price ladder, kind of like your dome view. You can see your last traded price. You can see your bid and ask. You see your excuse me. You see the amount of contracts waiting to be filled at each price right there. It doesn't give you quite as many levels as it does on the desktop. It gives you 5 levels here, which I still think is pretty good. Um, on the desktop, it gives you, I think, 10 levels, but you can still glean a lot of information just with those 5 levels. But again, this is it still gives you this bid and ask, the buy and sell buttons right here to actually place an order, to bring up the order ticket. And those are all the three of these screens that you have available will have that buy and sell ticket available to you. And that's actually what it looks like. That's actually the new buy. When you click on this, let me go back one. When you click on the buy order right there, when you click on the buy right here, oops, where's my dot? Yeah, and you click on the buy right here, this actually is what will show up. But again, you're not limited to a buy. If you hit either buy or sell, you can still change you can still change it. You can go from a buy to a sell if you want, just by tapping on sell there. But again, you see you got the market order, a limit order, and you got a stop order. Change your volume, change your price, all that, and then of course to execute, you send buy limit order there. Here's advanced chart, or excuse me, here's just a little simple little chart. Again, it shows you just a basic movement of the day. Where the current market is trading currently. Just a simple basic chart. Again, you've got your buy and your sell positions there. You've got a buy limit order working, active orders, and you can always cancel there, or actually this little thing right here is to actually edit the order. If you wanted to edit it or cancel, all right there from the screen. And this next screen here, this is, if you notice, it says you can tap for an advanced chart. Well, once you tap that, this is your advanced chart that comes up here. And this guy's right here, I think, is where I see the most value in this app right here. You can see here you've got a chart, you got a good chart, a nice looking chart, candlestick chart there. Looks really good. Looks closer to what we see on our desktop version. But notice here you've got several different presets down at the bottom. I'm active on preset 1. Which is, excuse me, I'm active right here on my preset 1, which is a 5-minute. You can see it's a 5-minute candle. 5-minute candle. It gives you your high and low of the candle and all that. And there's a standard moving average um, involved with on this. Well, there's a volume and there's a standard moving average on this chart. But what you can do with these different presets is you can have different time frames, different indicators on each one, so you can really fully analyze, different time frames, different averages, different volume. Indicators and whatnot. You can get very creative with the 5 different presets and really have 5 different ways of looking at the same market, of looking at the same data, looking at the same analysis. You can have 5 different ways. You can get really creative with that, and have these presets set up to all analyze different time frames, different you know, longer time frames, shorter time frames, what have you. You can get really creative. That's really neat. That's really neat, especially when you look at, you've got this nice drop-down box as well right here. This is really this is really where you need to trade from. I think this is where I look at. This is where I do a lot of the trading from. Um, on this demo is from this screen right here, because you've got your analysis right there. You've got all your charts. You've got your presets, set up, and then you've got this little drop-down box right here, which actually brings up your order ticket. You can see that's just dropping it down, so you can sit there, analyze, and then get your trade, going. Again, you can select buy or sell, and again, market, limit, stop. Make those adjustments of your volume, how many contracts you want to trade, and so it's real simple. It's all right there for you. Again, going back to it being a very efficient platform. Well, this is also a very efficient smart device as well. It's a very, very, very efficient smart app as well. Notice you still have the ability, you still have the plus sign over here on the top right hand of this advanced chart. So it does bring up some more options by pressing on that plus sign as well. If you're not currently in a position, if you're currently out of a position and you hit this plus sign, well, you get an added little bonus feature right here, which is contract information. This is really neat as well. This you can't really find too easily on the desktop version. You can find it; it's on your quotes, but this gives you a really good synopsis. Kind of really easy, a lot easier to read as far as the content goes. And this is the contract information. Look, it looks a lot different than what you would see on your quotes page in the desktop. Gives you all right there. Gives you point value. Gives you your margins. Gives you the exchange it's in, all the months traded, trading hours. Very valuable information to have if you're not 100% positive about a market. If you don't know too much about a market, if it's something that you're, just learning, just starting out looking at. Well, knowing the contract information, really, you should be memorizing the contract information. That'll help you. That'll help you learn. That'll let you, just be able to remember the different point values for different products, and not really get anything confused. But you have this tool at your availability, which is a really nice tool to use. So that was that was pretty much a smartphone app, guys. There's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool features about it. It is the first single version of the app, so I'm hoping with there's going to be a lot of new things, added things with each version that comes out. I'm hoping, and hopefully eventually this will be a standalone platform just like your desktop, and you can be actively be able to trade from anywhere. From anywhere you have an internet connection. But just going through, guys, going through a couple of the just some of the information, just the ins and outs of 3T futures. The futures mini contracts you see are going to be about $5 per round turn. Options on futures are $7.50 per round turn. So you can see, very competitive. 250 in, 250 out for the futures minis. Some of the bigger contracts like gold and crude oil are going to be $6 per round turn, or $3 in, $3 out. So again, like I said, very competitive. Minimum account balance, $2,500 to open up an account. Now, if you want to short options, if you want to just do a naked option shorting, you'll actually need $10,000. Shorting options are a lot more risky than actually buying the option. Um, so again, so that there's added risk, so there needs to be added margin available, added funds available if you are going to do that. Now, if you're going to pair it together, and do a spread, well, you can do that all day long as long as you have the money to buy it. So um, so there's that as well. The 3T Trader platform it's free to download. It's free to get going, to open up for you. It's a software. It is an extra piece of software, so there is a download to go through. And then the OEC iBreaker app for your smartphone or for your tablet, iPad Mini. There's so many different ways these days to get in there, but you got all those options for you. Some of just the features, like I said, you can trade futures and futures options in one account. Low minimum funding, competitive commission rates. Like I said, for these e-minis, for all the mini contracts, it's going to be $500 per contract. That's including all the indices, the bonds, and things of that nature. There's a 24-hour trade desk. So if you ever get stuck in a position, or you're confused and it's late at night, um, you can always call the 24-hour trade desk for assistance. And again, like I said, we went through all those different type of strategy orders that are very important when you are trying to be efficient with your trading. We can actually set up a 2-week demo that will work for both the smartphone app and the desktop version. So you can be testing out both, looking at both, seeing how both work. while we get an account going for you. But if you are interested in getting a demo, taking advantage of the free 2-week demo, and it's actually a free month demo because we get 2 weeks and then we can extend it again for an additional 2 weeks. So you really get a month of demo access, while to learn, while you're trying to get an account going, trying to get your account opened and funded. You have plenty of time to be able to get through and take a look and really learn the platform and get familiar with it. So yeah, so if you want to get a demo going, set up a demo, give me shoot me over an email. It's just Colin. You can see it there. It's Colin at 3tfutures.com. Um, for an email there. If you have any questions about account opening process or anything like that, you can also give me a shout on that as well, or you can give Anastasia, who works with our new accounts department. She heads up our new accounts department. She can answer any questions that you might have about an account opening, funding, anything like that. So give us a shout, get involved, and we will certainly enjoy working with you and hope to make you a better trader and get you the tools that you need to become a better trader. So anyways, thank you for your time. I hope you guys learned a little bit about 3T, learned a little bit about the different kind of tools that you need to get going and to be a good efficient trader. And I hope you guys will certainly take advantage of our demo and take advantage of our brokerage. So anyways, we're here to work for you guys. So anyhow, thanks again, and take care, and we'll hopefully talk to you soon.